You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms, and I feel you close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. Only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in that night the nearness of ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tea when you make that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. On Route 66, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tea when you make that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Wake it up, shake it up, steer it up, baby. Wake it up, shake it up.
I see you by the ocean, walking alone. Oh, after a brief encounter, baby, I'm drawn. A Sometimes it's not so easy to let new love in. No, we're so afraid the hurt will happen again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But rest assured the sun will shine. You'll see a new horizon. Your destination's waiting. It's time to arrive. You can have the best of things, sweetheart. Come on now, we'll take it slow to start. You can have the best of things, sweetheart. Baby, I know. You can have the best of things, sweetheart. Come on now, we'll take it slow to start. You can have the best of things, sweetheart. Baby, I know. You can have the best of things. Come and get your love. You can have the best of things, baby, I know. You can have the best of things. You can do it. Come and get your love. You can have the best of things, baby, I know. Wake it up, shake it up, stir it up, baby. Wake it up, shake it up, come on over. Wake it up, stir it up, baby. Come on over. Wake it up, shake it up, stir it up, baby. Wake it up, shake it up, come on over. Wake it up. Ooh, we got the groove, baby. He changed my life, oh, he made it bright. Now I won't be alone for another night. He came to me unexpectedly. Now I'm that girl in a fantasy. Since we got our groove, everything's brand new. Now we're stuck like glue. Since we got our groove. Oh, life was good, thought I had it down. But something was missing when you weren't around. Now, every time that I think of us, don't have to worry about that other stuff. Since we got our groove, everything's brand new. Now we're stuck like glue. Since we got our groove, every day winding down. When the sweet rhythm of our love is the only sign. Since we got everything is so damn smooth, baby. Like glue, yeah. Since we got our groove, since we got it, ooh, we got the groove, baby. My baby feeling up my soul in love. Since we got our groove, 'cause we meant to glow like the moon above. Chilling with my baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you give me those good vibes, good vibes. That's what it's all about. Oh, good vibes, good vibes. Makes me wanna shout it out. Oh, let's make today a celebration. So glad that I found you. Baby, what a sweet sensation. I'm so in love, it's true. Yeah, yeah. I like the sweet caress. Your love and tenderness carries me through the day. It's total happiness with you right next to me. I just wanna sing and say, you give me those good vibes, good vibes. That's what it's all about. Oh, good vibes, good vibes. Makes me wanna shout it out. I like the way your smile excites me. Never felt this good. Stay with me, it feels forever. I'm so caught up, it's true. Yeah, yeah. I like your sweet caress. Your love and tenderness carries me through the day. It's total happiness with you right next to me. I just wanna sing and say, you give me those good vibes, good vibes. That's what it's all about. Oh, good vibes, good vibes. Makes me wanna shout it out. I love the sweet caress. Your love and tenderness carries me through the day. It's total happiness with you right next to me. I just wanna sing and say, good vibes, good vibes. That's what it's all about. Oh, good vibes, good vibes. Makes me wanna shout it out. I like the way your smile excites me. Never felt this good. Well, just stay with me. It feels forever. I'm so caught up, it's true. You give me those good vibes, good vibes. That's what it's all about. Oh, good vibes, good vibes. Spending all my nights, all my money going out of the town, doing anything just to get you off my mind. When the morning comes, I'm right back where I started again. Try and forget you, it's just a waste of time. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me, 'cause I was wrong and I just can't live without you. No, no. All day long, wearing a mask of false bravado, trying to keep up the smile that hides the tear. Was when the sun comes down, get that empty feeling again. I wish to God that you were here. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me, 'cause I was wrong and I just can't live without you. No, no, no. Now that I put it all together, give me a chance to make you see. Have you used up all the love in your heart? Nothing left for me, nothing left for me, nothing left for me. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me, 'cause I was wrong and I just can't live without you. I was wrong and I just can't live. Baby, come back. One less bell to answer. One less egg to fry. One less man to pick up after. I should be happy, but all I do is cry. Oh, I should be happy. I only know that since he left, my life's so empty. Though I try to forget, it just can't be done. Each time the doorbell rings, I still
Raja, I'm sorry, baby. I'm not gonna be here to make our little meeting like we planned. But we'll get together real soon.
Another sleepless
Love you.
night.
Bye.
I wanna be close. What's this hold you got over me? I ain't in control. It's so crazy. What the hell is going on? Sleepless, restless, weary night after night. Missing what we share. It felt so right. I love your tone. I love it. The way you speak my name. Rasha. Waking me from my sleep. For you are real. Where are you? Only to find that you were never there. Baby, did you really want me? Did you care? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? To me. I wanna be close, baby. Baby, can you feel me? Can you feel me, baby? To me. Closer, closer. As darkness falls all over my heart, the part that beats you seems so far. Please come home. Calling. Please, I need you, and I know that you want me to. I know you miss me. Come on, back home. Come on back home, baby. It's for me, baby, that your heart longs. I need you here, right by my side. I'm lost without your love. You've been my guide. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Close to me. I wanna be. Can you feel me? I need you. I know you need my love and sugar me. Let me break it down right here. No matter where you are, no matter. I think you should know that I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't think without you close to me. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Close to me. I wanna be. Can you feel me? I need so close. Yeah. Just like that.
When you're sad and lonely, and you don't know what to do, we can talk it over.
all next week. So
But that's a good sign. That means that one day was so popular they gave you a whole week, and that's a huge compliment.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of cool, the way they have it set up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Indie Live spot. And we're excited today because we have a wonderful guest today. You just got through hearing some of his actually early music. He has some new music we're going to be getting into a little bit later. But help me welcome Mr. Tony Exum Jr. in the house. Welcome,
Right.
man.
What's happening? Long time no see.
Yeah, man. Golly, it's good to see you, man. See you again,
Yes.
man. You, I know you've been nonstop since we last saw you, so that's always good.
Yes.
And everything. How you been, man?
I've been pretty good. Just, excited about the new single that's out and, just possibilities with that and just looking forward to, it's constant work, it's as Joyce knows, it's the never ending homework assignment.
Oh, that's the truth.
Artist. So it never stops, when you do this for a living, it's always something.
Yeah.
But I feel different. Like, this last year, this whole spring and summer run was incredible. I had a string of sold out shows across the country, in Phoenix and Vegas and South Carolina and North Carolina, a couple cool festivals. So now I'm kind of like got a little bit more confidence and just looking forward to the fall schedule coming up. But, I think with the new song and some other possibilities I'm working on, things are going to be hopefully really good next year. So I'm just in a positive, outlook right now.
Yeah, man.
Man, when do you go make it to Dallas?
October 19th.
Tell him,
October
Tony,
the
so he
19th.
better be there. He asked.
Right.
You better be
I
there.
spread the word. Tell 100 of your friends, Ray Mac.
Where you gonna be at,
Be at the Urban Event Center.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
You gonna be down there with Ron, huh?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
You missed me at the Freeman this summer. I was there twice.
Shoot.
Deep Ellum. But and I'll
Sure
be back there
was.
next year.
Yeah, it was down in DK. Man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I never go down through there, man, because
Because his legs can't make it.
man, there's too many hooligans down there, man. There's too many hooligans down there in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
There's
those
always
shows were
something going
cool.
on down there.
Those shows were cool. But yeah, Urban Event Center. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun, man. So
Yeah.
Dallas.
With Ron and Jesse.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there.
Cool.
Who's we?
Please come.
Me, you, my gals,
You know.
one of my gals.
I know you. Tony, he knows I don't like it when he says my gal, so he'll keep saying it.
Oh,
I
right.
should have told him I loved it, then he would say it again.
Right. I remember that. Yeah. See.
My gal, like,
Wow.
well, great. Well, I'll be there. The only way I won't be there is if I got a gig myself. So, but I have it on
not
my
working.
Yeah, I have it on my calendar.
Okay.
See? But I missed the Freeman. I didn't even know you were there in the
Yeah,
summer.
That was
I
July
had
9th or something like that. And then I was there May. It was I did the late night show the last time I was there, which was cool. And then so hopefully I'll be back there. I know he books out way far, but I'm working on that too for next year. But because how much I love Dallas, so I'm trying to get that fan base out there, so I can make that move one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And the thing is that he said he loves Dallas. The musicians that are here, we're going, oh, Dallas is rough. That's
right.
Well,
Everybody
you know,
tells me that. I just love Dallas. I figure like this: if I'm doing what I'm doing now, anywhere I live, I'm going to be touring. So it's really just come out there and just start a new life, start a new chapter, personally, and then play in town, of course. If you got some opportunities, but most cities are rough. It's a rough time for us as artists, and especially in your home state, hometown.
Yeah.
There's always ups and downs.
That's true.
I try to.
you come to Dallas, you be some new blood and some new meat, as they say.
Right. I'm just
You'll be
ready
working.
to work, in a different spot and just experience some other things. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens everywhere you go. I mean, it's not always, this city is this, that, and the third. I mean, there's musician problems everywhere. There's
Mm-hmm.
bad promoters. There's,
You're right.
you know,
Yeah.
Shoes everywhere.
unscrupulous, unscrupulous, business people that are handling stuff. So it's you take it as it comes. But just for me as a person, I like Dallas, and I'm thinking about making that move just for a new environment. I mean, I'm from Colorado Springs. My family's big here. I have a notable father,
Mm-hmm.
doing his thing.
And who's your notable father? Let's give him
My
a shout
notable
out.
father is Colorado District 11 State Senator Tony Exum Sr. And he's the man. So
And he's been in that position for a while, hasn't he?
yeah, he has. He's actually he's just got elected in November as state senator, but he was a state representative before that,
All right.
since 2012. And so because of the term limits, he ran for senator and won by a landslide. So he's not done yet.
Right.
He amazes me to be, he's kept himself in good shape. I tease him all the time. I said, I'm watching you, because he still refs basketball, and he just got done playing a softball tournament, slow pitch in Vegas. And so
Yeah.
he said, okay, son, if you see me out there and I'm moving real slow and not as active, just walk out there and say, Dad, you're done. So told me to just walk me out the field like, Dad, that's it, you're done. But I'm like, he's not done.
He's
So
not
he has he's always had all these dynamics from different parts of the community. So being junior, I had to grow up with that, since we've been back here. And then I carved my own niche with music, and created my own lane. But
right.
sometimes you just want a new environment, just a new outlook. So it's on my heart. And like I said, I just have a love for the city of Dallas, for Dallas Fort Worth. I've been on the Fort Worth side too, so I like both. And all those cities in between. So you never know. You might just see me. That'll be my new residence. I'll still be doing my thing, but only thing I want to know is, like, man, was there a radio station down there? I gotten used to doing radio. I don't know if I can give that up yet.
Yeah.
I'm still.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
thing,
You're on now. You said it off the air, but for the listeners, tell us about your radio station in
Yeah.
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, so we've had a jazz station here since 2017. It's 93.5 FM, or Jazz 935 as we call it. And so I've been a host on there since, I think the station had been out for like maybe 2 weeks. My first show was November 14th, 2017. So almost what is that? 7 years. I've been doing it.
That's fast, isn't it?
So it's become, it's gone by really quick. And it's just a part of my DNA now. Like, I it's just what you do. It becomes another side of it. What's cool about it, I guess, is because you, as an artist, you rely on radio. So when you get to help your fellow artists do the same thing, that is kind of where my passion came in. When they asked me to do this, I was like, okay, I got to have a show for my new artists, and I got to be able to play the new music, because we know all of our, as we call them, our heroes and all the quote unquote A-listers. But I just say the pioneers of the game, because that could be subjective. But our boys Gerald and Walter and Najee and Jeff Lorber and George Benson, all the heroes, they're going to get played. But there's a lot of promising young artists. I used to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
I remember when my CD came out, and I was so excited when one station was playing my stuff. I couldn't believe it.
Well, Tony, although you're thinking about moving out here, you can still be with the state. You can do it remotely, like Steve Harvey and all them do.
Yeah, and I think that we're gonna have that option. If they do have that option, by the time I'm able to make my move, that'll make it a little easier for me, so I can keep that momentum going.
Right.
Because I've been a big part of the station. Like I said, I'm on the air literally every day of the week. So a lot of people that I least expect it's gotten to the point where things have kind of gone on in reverse. Like, I've had people come up to me like, I didn't realize you played the way you play. I just listened to your show. And they're like, so you're the guy that's on the radio, as opposed to, okay, so you have a radio show.
Right.
Then they hear me play and they're like, oh, okay, now we understand where you're coming from. But, there's a whole demographic of people that didn't know me as a musician initially that were shocked to see that. Because one thing about our station is all of us are professionals. Every host on the jazz station in their own way, play around most of those guys are locally based. I'm the only one that at this point, it has a national name, but we're all players. It's what we do, outside of radio. And some of those guys have teaching careers or what have you. So it's a uniqueness to that, I think. And that's what makes our station, kind of special. And I do all the smooth jazz program. It's a straight ahead, mostly straight ahead station. But we have, some other stuff. Like, you can't really have all straight ahead on any jazz station in the country. You're going to have, even the one up in Denver, they do some old school hip hop stuff on Saturday nights. So, I'm probably the edgiest thing they got on there right now with my smooth stuff. And I'm very funky and energetic with it. There's some stuff I won't play. But then I have like a Quiet Storm show I do on Thursday nights. And then I take it to the classics on Tuesdays.
Wow.
So, and those are my two favorite times because I really like playing the classic stuff, So on Tuesday nights, you listen, that's when you're going to hear where it came from.
Right.
I call the show Classics and Sea Jazz, So it's like before it was called Smooth, this is what they did. So I kind of start from mid 70s, maybe a little earlier than that, all the way up until about 95 or so. So, Record Brothers, George Duke.
Yeah.
Bob James, David Sanborn, Grover, of course, Ronnie Laws, Earl Clue, the Crusaders, Joe Sample, his solo stuff, all that good stuff, the old Jeff Lorber stuff, Foreplay, Larry Carlton, Spiral Gyra, Rippingtons, all that good stuff from back in the 70s and 80s and early 90s.
Right.
When we were just... Yeah. Before they turned it into that thing.
Right. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Tony, just like, you're doing the smooth jazz, you're doing the jazz set on Sunday. How many terrestrial radios is doing this? Not many.
No,
not. And I said that to him too.
Yeah. Very few. Very few.
If they're not on a college campus or something like that, that's it.
Yeah.
But you ain't picking them up no more than 10, 15 miles, though.
Yeah, we're the only terrestrial. As much as I play in Colorado, terrestrially speaking, I have the most on the air because Denver, I'm having a stronger, affinity towards, straight ahead, but kind of being anti-smooth jazz because they had one of the first smooth jazz stations in the country with K-High. That was one of the first stations to use that term, in like 91, 92. So K-High is now HD radio online. They do have a smooth jazz show on Saturday nights, and then they go to Alan Kepler's Smooth Jazz Network like after that. So there's a brother that does that every Saturday from 8 to 10, and then they go to the Dave Cos radio show from 10 to midnight.
Okay.
So it kind of fills that void for that, but I'm on the, I'm the guy Monday through Friday, about the same time frame. So I have a whole different listener base at that time, but I love both sides of the fence, as they say. So I asked, a few years ago, I think it was 2019, I said, can I do a straight ahead show? And so they gave me like an hour on Saturday, and then that turned into 2 hours. And then they decided that they wanted, Sunday to be pretty much all straight ahead. So I think the only other show on Sundays really is like the Brazilian hour, which comes on right after I do.
Nice.
Which is really cool. Matter of fact, after Saturdays is the Latin Jazz Hour. And then we have a show called Analog Jams, which they play like all the 70s jazz funk stuff on that hour. So that's pretty cool. So that's like, Herbie Hancock and
Herbie, I knew it.
Yeah, Headhunters stuff,
Definitely gotta have Herbie in there.
Herbie,
Definitely.
Roy Ayers.
Yes.
All that real good stuff and like I said, the Crusaders and that's Analog Jams is like, Stanley Clark.
Crusaders.
yeah, the Jazz Crusaders and the Crusaders, and
that's how they were first.
Right.
Do you wonder why they would drop the jazz part? Because
think
I heard them first in the.
Well,
70s.
if I may step in, if I can.
I know, right?
Come on in. I know you just been.
No,
I'm just listening to the conversation. It's getting deep now, so I
just like being on here.
Ray. Go ahead, Vaughn. Ray, Vaughn's trying to say something.
Vaughn, wait a minute.
Can't get a word in the edge.
I'm just on a fly on the wall at the moment, so I'm just hanging out. But anyway, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, Tony.
Thank you, man.
And I was looking forward to this because now, it's the new bloods again. You know, there's that energy coming from the youth, and you know, a lot of people are having a lot of eggheads. I call them those purists out there are having problems trying to still deal with the music that you play. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I try to hip them as much as I can. You know, to let them know that we're all part of the same tree.
Yes.
And I, you know, in my upbringings, I grew up in the 1960s, and I remember as a little boy, my dad was, you know, we would be listening to Lee Morgan, you know, and Bobby Timmons and all of the jazz messengers back in the day, and you know, of course, Coltrane stuff was being played from through the 50s to the 60s, and I grew up in L.A., Los Angeles, so you know, it was a lot of stuff I was listening
you had that cool stuff out there,
lot of stuff, you know.
Yes.
And so just hearing, you know, where you are with your radio show, you know, I was going to say we have a lot in common because I'm the program director and music director of KJLM OKC, which is it's like the broadcasting arm of a museum that's currently under it's in its stages of being built, that concentrates on the preservation of jazz throughout the country and around the world. So, you know, it's fun, and you find it's like an experiment, because you know, like you said, you can't play certain genres of music all the time. You have to give the audience what it wants, because it's so diverse and multifaceted. Everybody has their favorites. They have the styles that they want to listen to. And so you still have to cater to them as well. So I find a challenge in just trying to find that perfect mix, man. And it's not easy.
Very challenging. You know, people always think that, okay, you're just playing music. Like, no, I have to program it. I have to treat it like a set list, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it has to flow a certain way, you know? So my preference is, you know, since I have the all slow jam show, I always remember, you know, listening to when I was growing up, there used to be a show that used to be, when I was growing up in Mississippi, I forgot who had that national syndicated slow jam, that Quiet Storm show, but you know, it comes out of Howard University Radio. That's where it started in the mid-70s.
Oh, you're talking about Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was that was WHUR.
Yeah, you know, so I remember listening to it as a kid, and there was the other brother, the cat that's out now, that has the slow jam show. A lot of places used to play on Sundays, and I used to listen to that, and I was like, what if I did that in a contemporary jazz setting? So, you know, taking the smooth jazz and just playing the ballads that we put out.
Right, right.
And cover tunes, and then throwing a couple of vocal tunes in there. So, you know, when you listen to my show, you might hear, you're gonna hear some Will Downing, you know, you're gonna hear some Rochelle Farrell, you're gonna hear, you know, I went back this past Thursday, played Inside My Love by Minnie Riperton, because that's just kind of in that vein.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah.
You know,
see, I'm still playing Michael Henderson, bro.
Yeah, see, Michael Henderson and
I'm still playing Michael Henderson, and you know, I'll throw some Al Wilson in there, you know, that kind of stuff, you know.
Mixes it up a little bit. Yeah.
I've even went as far back as Arthur Prysock.
Oh man. Let me interject this.
Y'all let Ray in, okay?
Yeah, let me interject this. Station that you're on, Tony, and what we're doing over here with the radio station in Oklahoma City with the Jazz Legends Museum. Let's syndicate the show within ourselves.
I would love to do that, and they're open to it. My
do that.
Talked about
That's a great idea.
That would be awesome. That would be
syndicating
awesome.
it nationally. So yeah, we can do that. We can because we pipe in. I mean, we pipe in my man Chris McBride, Jazz Night in America.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Love that show.
Yeah.
You know, so we do that twice a week. So on Saturday nights, and then they do it again on Wednesdays. So yeah, I mean, it's been something that we've talked about, even with the Denver station, like doing some simulcast with some of their programming, you know, with us.
Well,
vice versa. So I would love to take that slow jam show in particular. You know, I call it the Smooth Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
And what I would, you know, Gary had suggested that to both Mac and I to do a podcast to broadcast on GHP Radio, and I'm going to do something about women in jazz, because there are a lot of women I mean, I hear the conversations, and I mean that respectfully.
Oh, yeah.
But when I hear people mouth off the greats of the past, they're always men. Nobody ever talks about Vi Red.
Oh.
Nobody talks about,
That's
what's her name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
The
you
lady
know,
from the islands that played 2 pianos at one time.
Oh,
yeah, you're talking about
Yeah.
Oh, her name escapes me
amazing.
now.
I saw
know
the
you're
And
talking
you know,
about.
women like that, you know, from that time, because I think Vyretta is the last I checked last year, she was still alive, and she's right at 99, 100.
you're talking about Hazel Scott.
Hazel Scott.
Yeah, Hazel Scott,
Yeah.
that's her
Hazel
name.
Scott.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, but when I hear conversations about the greats, it's because one guy was a few years ago when in Atlanta, a lady there came up with Black Women of Jazz Awards, and he thought he was offended by it, saying that it was a racist thing to do. Now, I think it's a racist thing to leave us out, and that we have to create something to bring that knowledge to who we are.
Absolutely.
And the reason why this lady created that award, because she said, I was just looking for Black women in jazz, and she never realized that we were at the bottom. Women at the bottom, and if you break it down again, Black women in jazz even lower. And that's why she came to bring awareness. So what he didn't realize that really was effective, because now he's aware. And my question to him is, how many CDs do you have of Black women in jazz? How much music have you purchased of just women in jazz?
Yeah.
So when we come across, it's not intended to offend anybody,
Right.
but it's just that, because even I'm guilty of it, because who mentored you? And I said, well, nobody, but I did listen to a lot of Coltrane and Charlie Parker to develop my, skill to listen. So, but that's because their music, they are readily available to us. Even in college, when they're teaching us jazz, they go to that music. So that's what was available. And a lot of people don't know about Hazel Scott and, and how phenomenal she was. And I don't think it means any harm. And it's because the media is driven. Even, another female saxophone player who was on the circuit, she said, Joyce, there's still not a lot of us. If you go to a festival, there may be 1 or 2 of us, and the rest of them is flooded by men. So in other words, she was saying we still have some work to do, even though it's better. We still have some work to do, because if a woman walks in with an instrument in her hand, whether it's a saxophone or a trumpet, it's can you play it? And then when a man walks in, he can already play it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
How sometimes
it happened to me. Honestly, can you play that?
And don't be pretty. Don't be pretty.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's like, okay, you sure you know how to put that thing together? It's
highly embarrassing, no doubt about it.
Really just and then like I remember sharing the stage with Jeanette Harris last year, and man, they loved her. We were in the Stockton Jazz Fest. I've done a couple shows with Jeanette over the years. We did Yoshi's, we did St. James Live in Atlanta, and sometimes the fan base will gravitate towards that because it's like they see this woman who dresses elegantly but she's got this fire in that horn and she can blow, then you have that balance, but you got to remember that one person that I do play a lot on the straight ahead side, I play a lot of Jerry Allen. Jerry Allen was a
brilliant piano player. Yeah,
of course, Patrice Rushen.
Yes, indeed.
I play some of her stuff, from the 70s. And so, and then there's always, we got a ton of Bobby Humphrey. We got a ton of who else? Of course, all the greats when it comes to vocals. I think a lot of times when Black women come up in jazz, we gravitate towards the singers because, of course, we had Ella and we had Sarah.
You have a lot of women.
Anna Washington.
A lot.
Now we got Samara Joy, and we forget about Esperanza Spalding. Like this woman is crazy. And what's the other girl on sax? I went to college with her older sister.
Jasmine Gent?
No, not Jasmine. Jasmine's a beast too now.
Lakeisha Benjamin?
Lakeisha Benjamin, she came out here and did the Vail Jazz thing. Tia Fuller.
Tia
That
Fuller.
movie,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of her name. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
know, I finally met her at a Christian McBride show in Denver last year. She was in town for a little while. I think her father had passed away. She was here, and Freddie Fuller was really well known in Denver. You know, as a great musician. And so her older sister Shami is a pianist and used to accompany me when we were both at DU. You know, she would help me out when I had recitals and stuff. So I had no idea her little sister was going to be like that on sax, because I remember when Tia was just barely, you know, in junior high school playing, and then she becomes this monster. It's like, you know, you got to give it up. And there's, you know, the other young lady, Camille Thurman. There's there's a lot of great young players. And smooth jazz, you know, she's a good friend of mine now, Miss Felicia Ray, who just set a record being the first female bassist on Billboard.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some things that are happening with that. I think what we may have to do in the industry is we may have to come up with a way to, you know, maybe showcase that.
And that's why I brought it up
on
in this conversation.
one platform. You know,
I'm like Vaughn. I was a fly on the wall listening to all the greats, and I'm like, I know there's some women in there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to do a podcast. There is so much, and we can't forget Gail Johnson, who
of course, exists.
Yeah.
What I call her.
I just became, as she calls it, a pinker the last couple of years, and I love working with her. So, and I told her, was it right after a show we did in San Antonio last year? I said, "Do you know what you have done for women?" I think she's been out.
She's opened some doors.
She's opened a lot of doors and given a lot of women opportunity. So someone could be offended by that. Well, why aren't you letting any men in your band? Why does it have to be all women? Well, you know, in a way, it has to be. And she's a trailblazer, grabbing women who are serious about music. Because I have, since I've been back in music about 13 years, I'm on the stage after a show and they're like, you know what? Why aren't you?
Yeah.
And this business is not as easy as you think it is. It doesn't take your talent, you know, but you should be. It's why aren't you, or you should be. And I'm like, well, how can you help me? And that's what I started saying. You got some connections, because it's a lot of times it's who you know. And if you
it's all about relationships. It's all about
and I said, if you can help me get in there, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to get on the stage.
No, I can attest to this for all the audience that's listening, because we brought Joyce out to Colorado Springs. Yeah. You know, and she put on an incredible show.
And on his show, he brought me on his show, went to the building, sat there in a place.
I had to do that. You know, anybody that comes in town, like, you know, I had you know.
No, you don't have to, but you did it, and I appreciate you.
I mean, I look at it like, okay, this is a necessity. So, like when Earl Klusto does his jazz thing here, we can jazz in Broadmoor. So I finally got you know, some pieces of a dream. And this past year, I got Tom Braxton. You know, we Boney. So I mean, we're starting to branch out and do some things like that. So, radio has also helped me as an artist. To be honest with you, like I said, the people that didn't know that I played. I can play my music on my show. Yeah, I can in my singles, and I can throw my stuff in there, or just, you know, the collabs I've done over the years. So it's been a platform for me to grow as an artist, because, you know, when you have a fan base and you have a radio show, you kind of automatically get some listeners, get some ears on your stuff, and then eventually it becomes where, like I said, people might know you from the radio side, and then they see you play live, and then they become even more of a fan. So I've used it to my advantage to make it to not just a launch pad for myself, but for all of the people that are coming up, you know. And, you know, it's funny because we tend, you know, it's I think a lot of people just overlook, because jazz is, there's so many different, you know, tributaries to it. So
it is.
Be careful not to dismiss the ladies, because, like I said, we just named several greats, but there's even more that we can get into, you know.
Absolutely.
There's some that you don't even know their names, that are blazing.
Like one in particular, one named Dorothy Ashby.
Yeah.
I don't
Dorothy
know her, but that's a
Ashby
great
was
example.
like one of the original harpists, you know, out of the 1950s and 60s, and people just have no idea what she's done. And it's just, you know, just come along, you know, and one of her favorite people that really I do know had some great words to say about what she accomplished was Ray Brown.
Yeah,
did a lot of work with Ray Brown back in the 50s and 60s. You know, it's just, and then who can, I mean, Mary Lou Williams was just phenomenal, you know. Another one, you know. And
and then I think a black woman wrote one of Elvis's hits. Ain't nothing but ain't nothing but a hound dog. Is that the one?
Yeah. Are you talking about Big Mama?
Big Mama Thornton?
Yeah. Yes. She wrote Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog.
Yes. I did not know and she played guitar too, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
She was tough.
Was that a sharp? You know, I mean, there's
was that a star?
Yeah, there you go. There's another one.
So many greats, you know. So yeah, we have to. That would be a great idea. I know we did have a show on Jazz 93.5 called Great Ladies of Jazz. I don't know if we're still doing that, but that was like a mid-morning show or early morning show on Saturdays where one of the young ladies that is a great pianist here. Her name is Chantel Ducart. She's an artist as well. She's no longer with the station, but we do some shows together. So she was doing that show for a while. So we've had those moments where we try to, you know, balance it out because, and there's always if you listen to my Straight Ahead show, there's always ladies on there. I mean, I make sure that there's always.
Well, it was
Lord, I'm forgetting about Karen. I'm forgetting about Karen Briggs.
Oh man, Karen's a mess too. Boy. Karen is a funny lady. Let me tell you.
She's the one that makes you go practice.
Karen is ridiculous.
I heard her with Jazz and Pink, 10, 13 years ago or something like that, and I went, oh my God, I gotta go practice. I mean,
yeah, she
practice, but she's got a personality. Let me tell you.
Yes, they do.
Maybe she had me laughing on stage. I was like,
she's brilliant.
She was a whole mess that day. I was just like, wow, and it was serious.
And I've always been a fan of Pamela Williams as well. She just a number one on the Billboard.
Absolutely.
A few months ago, maybe.
Yeah, she sure did. Pam's a good lady. She's very, very she taught me a lot about how the business used to be because a lot of people don't realize that Pamela was, you know, like she calls herself the saxtress. She was the one way before the new wave, you know. So before Jack and Jessie J and
all of those ladies,
and you know, Pamela was the lady.
Paula Atherton and all them, they all owe a lot to Pamela Williams.
They owe a lot to her, you know. I mean,
and the reason why I know about Pamela because I dropped out of music for 20 years because it was just that tough for women to make it, and I had to eat. And I saw Pamela doing it. I'm like, somebody's doing it. So when somebody looks at me, I'm like, I've been around for a while. I just took a break.
But Pamela, she took a lot. She went through a lot.
It's hard out there. Y'all. Ooh, I graduated from college. You know, like I worked hard, so I'm going to make it.
Right.
They look at you, little girl, what you want? And when you don't have somebody in the business that a relationship, or let's say a parent or somebody, because the common denominator back in the day, I noticed, because I try to figure out how y'all make it so I can do it. Mindy and Candy Abear and Candy Dolphin both said their fathers were in the business, or they are in the business. And so whether it's a father, a parent, or somebody, whether you're male or female for that matter, it really does help if you have, like Tony said, relationships, if you have connections, if you find people who can help you. That doesn't mean you get slothful, you get lazy about it. You still be intense about your talent and work hard and whatever. So when somebody does see you, you are ready to go. You are ready to go.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that.
You gotta be ready.
You gotta have that. That thing. I mean, one thing about Pamela, you know, she had a look. She had a certain style, but she even told me. She said, you know, when smooth jazz started to really get popular, and they started kind of changing the format after she debuted, you know, she had radio promoters and people telling her to change her mouthpiece, to change this and change that.
What?
You know,
what?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, so that's the other side of it too. You know, sometimes.
We need to put her on the show. I'd love to interview her.
She got some stories. I had a chance to play with Pamela a couple of times. One time was on a festival that was out here. Another time was it was actually a show with the two of us.
Mhm.
And so, we've kept in touch a little bit over the years, and we always talk for a very long time when we do talk. And so,
Mhm.
her knowledge of the business, she's a veteran. She's,
Mhm.
she's been around for a long time. I think sometimes people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those ladies, that we've talked about are all, great people, and they just deserve the best. I mean, it's
That's
tough.
right.
It's a male dominated, of course, business,
Yeah.
and there's the other side of that. So, even as an artist, today, for some of us younger guys, we're trying to figure out some of the same things that the ladies are like. What is it going to take? What are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
Is it the
Right.
sound? Is it the approach? So you have to fine tune everything, and you have to also know that there's some people that are just subjective, and they're not going to like you for whatever reason, and you can't let that get to you.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've kind of gone through a season of trying to figure out, what's missing, like what's missing in
I'm
some of the things
laughing
we
because
do.
we all do that.
Yeah. It's the stuff that'll keep you up at night, like you can't get no sleep. And sometimes to people on the outside, it looks like an obsession. Like, Tony, can you just put your phone down? Like, but wait, because I could post one more time. I could do this, I could do that. Oh wait, you know what? I just got the flyer from the promoter 20 minutes ago. It's like midnight. Okay, they finally sent me the flyer. Well, let me get busy right now. So when you wake up, first thing you see is, and searching for different ways to promote yourself, because we are in a time when, radio has shifted to online, which is great, because that
Mhm.
actually took away the some of the other stuff that was going on with it. It broadened the format to where you can have newer artists get heard,
Right.
play kind of what you want. You're not stuck to those corporate playlists that they used to have. We know with broadcast architecture, was running the show. But at
I've
the
never
same
heard it
time,
said that way.
yeah, that was a whole other era, right? So,
Mhm.
but now, we're all trying to be heard on, a certain cluster of stations, because that's where the charts are, and it doesn't definitely define you, as it should, but it's definitely a metric that's taken seriously. So there's a lot of inroads that I deal with as an artist, that I'm still, having been in the game for a little while. I've looked up, and gosh, my first CD came out in 2010, so I've been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not the little kid anymore, one of those kids, but I'm not the veteran yet either. I'm kind of like that in the middle, that seasoned cat that's got some experience, but I still have a long way to go.
Right.
So sometimes you feel like, well, what's it going to take? Like, what's the next step? And for me, some of the guys that came out around the same time as I did, and this is me being very transparent right now, have gotten a little further along. Some of us are kind of right here, but that's all, your journey is very personal. So can't let that dictate how you move, because what's for you is what's for you, and what's not is what's not. So sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, though. And so when you get to this stage where I'm at, I remember Nick Coleone saying there's like 3 stages of music. It's who is Tony Exum Jr. Find someone that plays like Tony Exum Jr. What happened to Tony Exum Jr.?
Oh, wow.
I
Wow.
said, dang, Uncle Nick.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang, bro. But he
Yeah.
said that to me one day. He's had that conversation with a lot of artists, but that was one of his sayings.
Wow.
I thought about that. So I'm kind of in that stage, in the middle section, and I'm still kind of coming off the who is Tony Exum Jr., hopefully to the other part. But that's just kind of the how it works. But then, at the same time, as contemporary jazz artists, we can have a longer career. We can play until whenever. I mean, Herb Alpert just put out a record. I'm looking
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
on the most added. I'm like, okay, well, I'm number 5. Herb Alpert's like number 3. That's cool, because that's Herb Alpert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
say to that?
Yeah,
It's
right.
just cool to see my name next to them guys. And Jeff Lord Fusion had the number 1 most added last week. I'm like, okay, I'm in good company.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. You just kick back and you say, okay, well, those guys got years and years and years and years of so much material. So to hear the freshness out of Herb, who is 87 now, I think.
It's up there.
And still putting out records.
Yeah.
I was at that, like, that's the end goal. I want to be, if I'm still around 80 plus, I'm still gonna be putting out music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing
Exactly.
shows,
No doubt.
No doubt about it.
and be able to and I feel like the time that I might say goodbye is when they tell me I can't play no more. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go to sleep now. But that's the thing that's going on right now, you guys, and it's really important that what you do here. As I've been on this show several times over the years, I always look forward to it because you guys have a great format and a lot of people watch and listen, and we need you guys. We need these platforms as artists now. It's a different world, and so as we're trying to create different opportunities for ourselves, we got to be able to come home to places like this and just talk candidly like we're doing right now. Showcase new music. I get more out of this. Yeah, be real. I mean, with you guys especially, like some places you interview and it's just question answer, but I always look forward to us because we have a conversation. And
we ain't got sticks up our butts.
Nah. If it got too formal with y'all, I'd be like, wait, what's going on here? Yeah, I'd have to break it up. But no, it's an honor, to. I wish more guys, some more people in the business were like this, so that way we can really just be.
Yeah, we can. I think success to me, and I said it even before when I was young. I said success to me is whatever stage I'm on, that the crowd loves it, whether I'm at the top of the billboard or at the bottom. See what I'm and just like last night. Okay, at festivals you have 30 minutes. For the choir band to come off, and you have to be ready for anything. Live entertainment, and what happened in that 30 minutes, people left. And I said, okay, we're going to have a crowd too. So we played. I said, we're going to play like there are 3,000 people.
Exactly.
And we started jamming, and here they come. They're coming. And they start dancing, they start having fun. And that to me is more important, that whatever stage I'm in, I'm on, I mean, not in, but on whatever stage I'm on, that wherever I am, whether it's 3 people or 3,000, that I leave knowing. And I think the greatest compliment last night is when 2 young girls, ladies, sorry, they're in their 20s. One, she told me I'm actually 30s, but anyway, and they were just so excited about the music. And that's, to me, that's what brings me joy. Sure, if I win a Grammy, I'm going to be elated. But if I cannot get on that stage and entertain people and give them something for their money, then I feel like I failed. Okay. And even though my mic went out one time, I had a vocal mic, pulled it down and kept playing.
I've done that too. I mean, you got to. I mean, the show must go on, and it's that's the sign of a pro. Someone who do something. I've had the mic slip off my horn. In the middle of a big festival. Matter of fact, I made a joke about it. I was at the San Diego Smooth Jazz Fest with my man David P. Stevens, and shout out to him. And this mic just kept slipping off the bell. And so I had the band kind of break it down. And I got on the mic. I was talking to the crowd. I was like, look, me and this mic gonna fight. All right, me and this mic about to have a problem. We're gonna have a little moment here. So give me a second. I'm gonna get it together. And while I was doing that, one of the sound guys came with some gaffer tape, put on the bell so it would stay. Because it just kept, I just kind of laughed it off. But I mean, it didn't take away from the performance. But I knew, how to, having been on so many stages for so many years, whether I was the focal point out, even in the cover band years, I was, playing and stuff happening. Just kind of find a way to be
be ready,
pro, and be ready for whatever happens, because mics go out. You could have a terrible sound. The sound check was just trash, but guess what? We got to get this 30 minutes, this 25 minutes, this 45, and we got to roll with it. And the crowd.
And you got to act like nothing's wrong.
Man, you'd be up there mad about it. Like as soon as okay, as soon as we're done, I get backstage, or sometimes, and I can tell you this, just I had a recent experience. I'm not going to say what city, but I think Joyce probably knows what I'm talking about, because I think you saw the live feed. I had to let go of the band that was hired for me. After rehearsal, I was like, no, this is not gonna work. And I was trying so hard to make it. But all I kept thinking about was everybody's gonna be doing this. And I can't afford for that to be on social media, because even though it's not my band, everything reflects on your brand when it goes good, bad, ugly, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Musicians don't understand that. This is not my fault, but my name's on this.
Right.
Exactly.
So I had to do a track show, which I don't like to do. You know, when I do tracks, I like to do tracks like cocktail hours at weddings and stuff,
Right.
you know, like, where you're not really the focal, you're just kind of playing and everybody's drinking and socializing before dinner. You know, tracks are kind of a necessity. I always like having a band or, you know, or some semblance of that, even if it's just you know, my keyboard player on key bass and keys and my drummer, you know, just a little trio. I like to have that live feel. But, you know, sometimes you have to be flexible in this business and do what it takes. But I put on a good show and they were happy with it. And actually, honestly, it worked out better logistically anyway. But that's the kind of thing that we go through too. Like, you know, as touring artists, we're putting bands together because the economics of this today's time doesn't allow us always to bring our musicians. You know, I try to bring at least one of mine. So like when I play Dallas, I'll have my MD, my drummer, with me.
Okay.
I've been bringing him on a lot of those Dallas dates because he loves Dallas too, but also because I need at least one person that knows me. And what better situation than the drummer, who's in control of a lot on stage, to make sure that everything else goes smoothly. So I try to bring him whenever I can. But a lot of times, you know, you just trust in the musicians that you meet, or you're getting that term relationships comes in. So it's like, all right, who are the cats to make this work, you know? And when people come to Colorado, you know, I get that phone call like, all right, man, I need a band. And so, or when I'm going to another city, you know, well, who should I hire? You know, who are the go-to musicians to make this work? But, you know, it's a different type of touring because, you know, when you see how well rehearsed, you know, some of our heroes are.
Yeah.
And I remember one lady saying, well, sometimes when I see you young guys, it's the reason why I kind of shy off is because you can tell this, that, and the third. I said, well, here's the thing. Economically speaking, the way these guys are getting paid, because they've been around for a long time, they can rehearse their bands and can go on the road. I said, every city I go to, I got a different set of musicians.
Exactly.
Because I'm getting paid a certain amount of money. Not that it's bad, but it's not enough to have 5 guys, 5 flights, 5 hotel rooms, backline, all that stuff, you know.
Preach.
So, you know, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
The plug and play culture has been part of contemporary jazz probably for the last like 15, 16 years. Just because the economic shift as the format started to kind of die down and, you know, things changed for a little while. And, you know, money always is going to affect the music business, as we know, on a positive or negative side. So we have that to deal with too. So, you know, you're walking into a gig and you're meeting cats for the first time. And you got to put on the show with these guys. But their reputations coming from certain musicians, it makes you feel comfortable. Or, you know from that first song. The first 16 bars are going to tell you everything you need to know. And the first 16 bars of that joint that I went to told me everything I needed to know. I didn't want to waste their time. So I said, well, let me see if this song works. You always know it's bad when you're like, okay, next song, we're not going to play that.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You try to find cover tunes.
I know.
Y'all ain't booking my stuff, so we're going to go to the inside joke. You know, we're gonna go to regulars. We're gonna go. We got an inside joke. One of my boys.
What do you know? What do you know? What do you know?
Yeah, what do you know? What do you know? Or like we say in the business, like, you know, this brother. I'll never forget him. He was this bass player named Anthony. I forgot his last name in Detroit. We were laughing about that when I played Detroit like 10 years ago. He said, well, you know, we can always go to the spirituals. And I said, what are those? I said, oh, wait a minute, you mean Mr. Magic and the strangers? You know, we can play the spirituals. I'm like, yeah, who? Somebody's gonna always know one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you think I did it that rehearsal? I said, yo, y'all know Mr. Magic, right? All right. So I said, okay, drummer, can you play go-go? Give me a go-go feel. He's like, yeah. So he nailed that. Like,
doing the butt.
Play this joint. Right, throw that in there. We're gonna play that.
Brown and the Soul Searchers.
You know, we're gonna play Never Too Much. We're gonna do, you know, them songs that everybody knows. And
Hey, Gary.
we're gonna play those joints, and everybody's gonna take a solo because, you know, I didn't give y'all 10 songs and nobody knows them, so I gotta fill this up. I got a 90-minute show.
I've been there, done that.
Right.
It's gonna be a mini jam session.
And that's why I've
know?
taken Mr. Magic into 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah, there you go.
Just follow me. You'll know what I'm doing. So if I flashlight, the bass player, doom, 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 he breaks, and we jam
I
on that.
remember when we did that. I remember when we did that. That was
Yeah,
dope.
we're gonna do hoops upside your head. Okay,
Yeah.
don't you stop the music.
Joyce out there making it happen,
Said,
y'all. She's
keep it
making the show
jamming.
happen.
Keep it jamming.
I've witnessed it. Old school funk will get you through a bad night or one of those
will,
nights.
though. Yeah.
We're there to try to sell our music. I mean, and cover tunes are. It's like a catch-22 so many times. I mean, I tell people that all the time. There's so many catch-22s and so many double-edged swords in this business where you want to avoid what I was just talking about if you can, but at the same time, you know, you're still introducing yourself on a level that people are still getting to know you. So you're playing a certain venue and you got some diehard fans in there, but you got some people that know that this venue is quality entertainment.
You said your brand.
Now you got to grab them.
Yeah.
It's your brand going out there. So
Right,
you have
you gotta
a
grab
decision
them.
to make. Do I? And I've done that in the past many years ago. Why I took that risk, and it was a disaster on stage. As far as I was concerned, it was a disaster. And I said I'll never do that again. So that's why when I was in LA in 2019, I played 2 different venues with 2 different bands because they wanted their house band, and one house band was ready, about 80% ready, which okay, that's doable. And the other one was about 20% ready. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always one. There's always one. Or like you say, Friday night is the guys was ready. And then you're like, oh man, these cats came prepared.
So,
Every night, next city, it's like, oh.
so who you think you got when you come to Dallas?
What's the name?
Don't be messy. Don't be messy, Matt. You live here.
I hold on. I got the name of the band that I don't know. I think I know these cats from somewhere, but I have to look up the name of the group real
Let's
quick.
see who plays that. Freeman. Lenny plays there regularly. It's not Lenny's band.
Yeah, they play there quite a bit. Usually when I play Dallas, I get a lot of times I use Vandel's band, Vandel Andrew,
Andrew,
Felix and Chiquita and
the drummer.
Yeah, the drummer.
Yeah,
if I don't bring Jay with me, I'll use Chiquita. We do kind of trade off on that because they had, matter of fact, we were in Houston this past summer. Me, Vandel, and Adam Holly were like the last part of this festival in Houston. So I used Vandel's group with my drummer, of course, and they killed it. So those guys, they're available. I always call them like, Vandel, you working? Because if you're not, is it okay?
I played in Colorado Springs. I used your band to back me up. We had a great time.
They enjoyed it. The only sub on that gig was actually the guitar player. That was one of his first times playing because I was trying them out. Everybody else was like my regular guys, but
we were grooving, made it happen.
She wasn't doing like easy stuff because you had your Sade thing, and that's not. I don't care what anybody says. You got to nail that stuff like a certain way.
You do.
You can't
I
mess
did a
around with
Sade
something.
tribute show a few months ago, and it went well. It sold out 2 nights. But what I did was I transcribed the parts, like the guitar hits, and that's when I realized Sade has 3 guitars in this song, 3 plus the bass, and I realized, okay, I'm not gonna be able to have 3 guitars, so I just told my guitar player, play the one that is most prominent. And I think that's what they did in Colorado Springs. You're not going to cover every lick, but the one that the ear picks up first, and then they'll recognize the song. And because some songs is the same bass line, a couple of them same bass line throughout the entire song.
Yeah.
And but we did it. But that's what I did. You were kind enough. First, he was kind enough to recommend me. And because when I got the call, the email, how does this guy know me in Colorado Springs? And I said, wait a minute, Tony Exum is from. Tony, did you have something to do with this?
I sure did.
He said, no, he was trying to be humble. Oh, I just he asked for some names and I just gave it to him. I'm like, then you did have something to do with it. You didn't have to get my name. Yeah.
Well, I thought it would be a great thing. I mean, you know, and I know that you had been doing that tribute, and I was like, you know what, we got to get Joyce. We got to get, you know, Paula. We had Paula coming. Paula's come to Colorado a couple of times with me. We had Paula coming
down for the next week because I remember promoting us. So y'all need to come back, see her, and then that Wednesday is when. After that's when everything started shutting down. Boom, boom, boom,
I remember right after we did your show, I went to LA. I did a show with Paris Escovedo, and the weekend before I was with Surface. Matter of fact, I was in Tulsa with them. The weekend before that, we did Kansas City. No, we did Wichita, Kansas. Then we shot down to Tulsa and did a show. Came back home, went out to LA, and they were wearing masks already in Los Angeles.
Wow.
When I got to the hotel, because I had it was a weird time. I had a Black History Month luncheon on the Federal Center in Denver, you know, which is, you know, like a military conglomerate kind of thing. And so I had to play that. That was just me and another singer from Denver who was really talented. Her name's Raj Dalari. We did that together. Then I had to get straight to DIA from there, hop on the plane, get to LAX, got off the plane, got on the shuttle to LAX Hilton, which is where the gig was. I literally checked in, rushed upstairs, changed my clothes real quick. Because Paris wanted us to wear like red and black and everything. So I got dressed, shot downstairs. They were already like counting off the first song. And I ran up, threw my horn together. There was like a mic. I didn't even get a chance to use my wireless joint. They had a mic waiting for me because they had to go. And so that was a cool thing, but we weren't thinking it was going to be what it became. That was February 27th. So I think, was it a week or two later? Next thing I know, we were on full lockdown. And then all of a sudden, every phone call that was coming in that used to be about, okay, we got this opportunity or that was all, so this one's been canceled. Okay, this is postponed. Okay, this is canceled. This festival's not this year. And, you know, they had us on pins and needles like, okay, we're going to be on lockdown for about 6 weeks. After this, we should be good. You know, everybody's like, oh, yeah, summertime's going to be fine. It's going to, you know. And then look what happened. 2 years of nothing. And so coming off of that, you know, I think we all had a newfound appreciation for, you know, playing live.
Right.
We all kind of found a way to figure out how to, you know, of course we're using online as our tool, so everybody's doing online concerts, you know. Matter of fact, the same club that I brought Joyce to, Mike let me use the spot for my birthday that year, and I just did like a whole show online, you know, with the band and stuff, just to kind of make sure we could, you know, still perform a little bit. And Colorado wasn't so bad. We could still gig around here. We just had like limited capacity, so it was like 25% crowd, you know. So, you know, you could have up to 50 people. If your capacity was 300, you max at 50.
Right.
So I still did like the Soul Dove that year with the fellas. I still did a couple of outdoor things. Just couldn't go on the road, and that was the hard part. Like, I was missing touring so much, and so when it finally kicked back in 2021, I didn't care where it was. I'm like, I'm just getting out of here.
Let me ask you.
I remember that feeling though.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that feeling. Like,
I don't care what small town. Where can I go?
Okay.
It's a little town and wherever. I was like, I don't care where it is. You want me to play? Okay, I'll be there.
Is it a ball? Oh,
right.
What happened in Wichita? Boy,
Wichita, Kansas. That was interesting.
Boy, that's so awesome, baby.
Oh yeah, I mean, Wichita got, you know, there's cats out there, and I had brought my guys with me. I brought my trio with me because I thought we were also backing up Surface, you know, to give them more of a live feel. At least in Tulsa, we were supposed to do that, but Wichita just had Joe Torre the week before. I don't know what them promoters did or what they didn't do. Some other big thing was going on in Kansas, so everybody was over there. So we didn't have much of a crowd that night, and the club wasn't prepared for me to have my drummer and my keyboardist. So we had to like throw something together sound-wise. I said, okay, well, it's gonna be like that. We went up there and did like maybe a half hour. And I rented a SUV because I was like, well, flying, it's too close. Let's make this kind of a road trip. So we all, everybody flew back from Tulsa. But I drove us to Wichita. That was fun, and then we shot down to Tulsa, and did our thing. But Wichita was interesting. I have family out there and everything, but I want to go back because I mean the promoters treated us well. We did 2 radio interviews that day, me and Surface. There was this excitement, but the crowd didn't show up. It was in this tiny little spot, and I was like, "That's fine." I'm not tripping on that. But I felt bad because for them. But see, one thing about Pick being the original member, the one on flute, he's done and seen it all. Like Pick is just glad to be still out there, And the gentleman that's with him now, John Fever, he got into the group because he sounded so much like the original lead singer, Bernard, that people thought it was like the record. And so it was the perfect thing. And those guys are retired. Well, one of the other members had passed away, but Bernard's retired. He doesn't really want to work. Pick wants to still get out there. Matter of fact, they're coming back to Colorado in December with Keith Sweat and Stephanie Mills, and
nice.
For some kind of big concert in Pueblo. So, we did a little run that, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a great year. 2020 is going to be super dope. My schedule was looking good. The thing that Joyce did, the club, we had this concert series. I had D. Lucas coming, Julian Vaughn, Jay White, Paula, bringing Adam Holly back for the second time.
He's amazing.
Yeah, honestly, off page, that dude is on fire. So we were ready. We're ready to go.
He and his wife are amazing. Let's put it out.
It's always a pleasure to share the stage with Adam. And so we lost that all. Everything just like shut down. And so one of the few things that we had, I think the last time I was with you all, I was on the road. If I remember correctly, I was in Utah when we interviewed last time. And that was one of the first times I got out. I was with another band that day, but I was like, man, I got to get out of here, please. The guy that runs that band also does my website. And so he was like, hey, man, we got this thing called the Soda Festival or something like that. It's in Salt Lake City. I'm like, I'm there. I'll play sax. I just want to be on tour. I just want to be, be, and, that was a great experience. But let me tell you, it was even the crowd was appreciative. Everywhere we went, people were just ready to get back out there, and it felt good, And now that that's behind us, at least from shutting us down or whatever, because we still have to deal with that new strain. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but I'm just thankful to say that we're able to still, perform and still be able to do what we do. I mean, it was, I remember thinking like, is it over? Like,
right?
Are we done?
Over.
It felt that way. It felt that way. Like, okay, the world's never going to go back to what it was beforehand, and we didn't see it coming. So you just sit there and think like, how is it that February was one way, and then by mid-March, it wasn't even that long. It was over.
Well, in Texas, it started the first week of March. Things started shutting down because I remember that was the leap year, so it was February 29th. 2020 when I was in Colorado. Yes. Then I had another gig that Wednesday, and I did that gig.
I remember,
That is when it started shutting down here in Texas and all over the world. But it was a crazy time. But I understand because when I did a backyard live stream show, and it was amazing. I don't know how that happened, and I haven't been able to do that again. But I think the views were like over 8,000, 9,000. But what I got out of it was 4 bookings the next month, backyard.
Oh yeah,
I was in my backyard. And I was sure I'll take it. So I did one more. The other backyards, because you're right, Tony. We were hungry, but also people were hungry for live music. So doing things like that.
Yeah.
So ready. It was an interesting time to think about how you were, how things were going. And it's funny because all of us indie artists, we were the ones that was hurting. Some of the other groups, like, they were cool, they're donating, some of their live show money on from their homes to charities and different music organizations to help us. Yeah. We had a thing out here called Curbside Culture, and I did that all the summer 2020, a little bit in 2021, but that whole summer, that's what kept me going. But I had to humble myself and get another kind of line of work, throw on a uniform, and get up and go to work in the mornings.
That's
I
right.
I was like, look, my daughter was here, and I had her for a good portion of the summer, so I was delivering medical supplies to hospitals for that whole summer. 3 days a week. So that's first.
All right.
But it was like, what, we don't know when this is going to change. So, but when Curbside Culture came out, I was doing the same thing, Joyce. They set up a website, and they left it up to whoever wanted to go on that site to hire you. What was cool about it was, people really honed in on that. So I was doing like mini concerts in backyards, cul-de-sacs,
Nice.
driveways, and
since you play with tracks, it was easier for you to just. And I've been playing for tracks for years. When I was playing, people were making fun of me, like, "Oh, I don't do that." And one, I'm not gonna say his name, he said, "Joyce, you're not gonna believe this. I played with tracks. It ain't so bad."
Hey, it can help. It can get you through. Sometimes you got to take those gigs when the budget isn't there. You can't really say no, but you can't. That's not enough for a 3-piece or even a 4-piece band. So, you got to find a way to make it work. Or sometimes it's just not necessary. So you got to be prepared to play track shows. I just did a whole run of those in Phoenix. There's a concert series. Matter of fact, Joyce, he's gonna be calling you for next year. So I'm just letting you know right now, in Phoenix.
I'm ready.
Like a bunch of names. It's 3 different spots in the Phoenix metro area, and it's all tracks, and 75-minute shows, and people ate it up. So it becomes a thing that you can do sometimes when it's necessary. But we're musicians. We want to play with our cats. We want to have that energy there. So track dates are sometimes, they're hard. Even though you might have stems you're running or tracks you're running to supplement the band, you still want to have that spontaneous thing and that live energy.
Because you can keep going once the stems run out.
Right. If you want to keep it going. And
you can.
The problem with tracks is they're gonna stay the same. And Joyce, I know you've gone through this. I know every time I've done some track shows, get on autopilot and you start playing the record. You start playing the record. When I say that, ladies and gentlemen, like you start remembering the solo you recorded and you just start playing the same solo. Like you literally play the record. And you don't start, when you're live, you can improvise, you can stretch the solo out.
Right.
You can do more.
Because I've been caught up.
My
playing in
God.
the band with the click tracks, and I'm like, "Come on and jam with me, saxophone." Well, the crowd started getting into it, but that section ended, and I had to keep going. Which, if it were all live, I could have kept that part going before I went to the next section. So
Now, I'm curious. How often does that happen? I mean, really, does that happen often?
what?
When you start playing the solo from the recording?
Yes.
Oh my
certain
God.
certain songs that I just
saxophone I do. I play. It's the solo section, and I hit the 4-octave thing.
Right.
I played the same solo with the tracks.
That's
Tony, you got a new song inside, right?
Yes.
We want to hear it.
It's called Hold My Hand. Let's run it. It's
Yes, let's hear it.
David P. Stevens, and it's doing well on video already. So it's good.
Tell us.
What was your inspiration on it?
Tell us a little bit about it, Tony, before we hit it.
So my man David P. Stevens, great producer, also an artist, Billboard charting right now, incredible guitarist. He and I were touring for a little bit as Kings of Groove last year. And, that's my buddy. He's, one of my main collaborators. He's like, Tony, I got this song. This song is going to make everybody feel good. This is going to be that crossover hit for you. It's just a feel-good tune. And I actually sat on it for a year. Recorded last year. We just finally released it. And it's called Hold My Hand. It's just a feel-good, up-tempo song that just makes you smile, makes you, think of good times, and it's a perfect radio song, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, let's let our viewers and listeners check it out here, and we'll come back. If you just tune in, we are talking to Tony Exum Jr. And like I said, we're gonna do this new track, "Hold My Hand." So y'all Keep it locked. We'll be right back. TV.
Is it
Oh,
TV?
my TV is on.
All right. Okay.
Somebody's talking. She just said, "All right."
That was my wife.
Oh. I know it wasn't me.
I'm back though.
All right.
Yeah. She just walked in the door, so
Well, we're back. We're back.
We're
back.
She was on the phone.
Okay, all right. We're good. We're good.
We're good to go.
I don't know if I get accused of everything.
Yes, you-
Well, the reason why I said you,
What
Ray,
are you?
because I kept seeing your head looking up at your TV, so that's what I
No,
thought
I was reading the comments. They went on ahead and passed the bill.
So you relieved now, ain't you?
Hell yeah.
What bill? What bill was passed?
I knew that's what you was worried about. I saw you watching.
No, I wasn't really worried about that. My money's sitting in the bank already.
Well, let's just talk about hold my hand before
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah,
Man,
my-
your alto is as sweet as your soprano sound.
Thank
The
you.
tone.
Thank you.
It's-
Thank
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what were you playing? Because I was trying to hear soprano because I'm used to your soprano.
you. know,
Yeah.
it's funny because the last few singles I put out, I was trying to throw everybody off. So last couple
Mhm.
singles
You
that came
did.
out, I was on tenor. So I was like, this is gonna be an alto song.
It's nice, very nice.
So you know,
It
you know,
was
I had to keep people
beautiful.
off. Well, thank you very
You're
much.
right, it is a
Thanks lot.
feel good song. And I'm going to add that to my Spotify playlist too. So you
Thank
guys can add that to all your lists, go download it. Look,
Thank
it's
you.
only 99 cents, right? Come on.
Yeah, it's just 99
It's a cup
cents.
of
You know?
coffee costs. Go to
Exactly.
Starbucks.
Exactly.
He
This-
spent thousands getting that song right, and you can
That's
get it for
right.
99 cents.
That's right. You
So-
know, it's not a inexpensive thing to promote, you know, songs on radios. It's for those of you that listen that don't know, it's a pretty hefty expense on artists to go for radio campaigns and keep those things going and to promote our music. So it's not like, you know, it's we just send it to a promoter or we, you know, just email a bunch of stations. Like there's a cost involved. But you know, even the song itself, you know, you're paying for the production from the song to the producer up front, and then it's got to be mixed right. So you want to get to the right. If they don't do it themselves, you know, someone else might mix it, and then you also have the mastering. So you got all these little expenses that add up, you know. And then when you finally do get the song on radio, even sending the some stations still want a single. They want a CD. You
Right.
know, we
That's
still send
amazing
those.
to me, though.
It's all digital. It's all digital. It's done, said and done.
But you still want a physical CD. Yeah.
But they still want a physical CD for some reason, and I don't know why
I
that
don't
is.
either.
And you know, the one sheets that we send out are usually. I have a way I do it with a electronic one. So if I send a one sheet, and ladies and gentlemen, one sheet is a fact sheet for your song, the
Right.
bio, picture, credits, and that's what we sent to the program director.
ISRC code, everything.
Yeah, all the good stuff. And then so the one that I have is what they call electronic one sheet, where you can download the song from there. There's a button you click, and you can get the WAV or the MP3, whichever one you want. So that costs to get those done, and then send the CDs out, and you know, you got your first run is usually about 6 weeks, which sometimes flies like that. But that's what we do to get the music out to you and to get it on radio, so that way you can hear it. And so the more you download it, the quicker we can kind of recoup all the money we put into it, you know, because it's not inexpensive at all. It's a part of what we do, though. And if you don't do it, you know, you may have some limited, you know, bandwidth when it comes to people hearing your music. I mean, there's some stations out there like Gary, you know, that when it sounds good, he'll play it. You don't necessarily have a promoter. So you have all those internet stations, but you want to get everybody that you can to hear your music and to share it. So we spend a lot of, you know, as indie artists, you know, it's not like the labels footing that bill.
Right.
We are doing it themselves. So your 99 cents or $1.29 goes a long way.
Yeah.
So,
Let me ask you this, Tony, because
Mac, I want to read a
comment.
comment from a fan in a chat, and I promise I'll come back. Colleen Keekly said, Joyce, all of Tony's music is on my Spotify as well.
oh, thank you. Thank you very
Sorry,
much.
Mac, I just had to read that. You know.
No,
Go
the
ahead.
question was that out there, do they have some mom and pop record stores and things like that?
Yeah, there's still some out there. There's still some some places that you can put like your stuff on consignment, but people just don't buy music like they used to. Even at shows, we don't. I mean, we don't sell CDs like we used to. It's sometimes people will do that just to support, because there's not even a studies that's shown before, like a lot of, and we can all test this. Of course, you do a lot of listening in your car.
Well, that's very true. But
So-
here in this area, they got a big old music store called Forever Yours.
Okay.
And then they got CDs, they got 8-track tape. And I just saw the other day a commercial. They put a record store over in it's over in Plano.
I'll send my stuff down there to take it. I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, there's still some of that going on. I mean, I wouldn't deny that at all as an artist, but just generally speaking, CD sales even at shows are different. So now the new merch is getting like your T-shirts and your ball caps and
Right.
and I have a thing now that's coming out next month where I'm just going to give people like these stickers with a QR code. So it's my logo on a sticker and the QR code's on there to go to Spotify or to go to my website directly. So that way, those things are the new
Yeah.
metrics. So when you say Spotify, and that's a whole controversy. That's a whole other conversation. But
Yeah.
those that are watching, stream it as much as you can. Like I tell my crowds, it's my inside joke. So stream, hold my hand. Each one of you that's on here, if you stream it like 100,000 times a piece,
Uh-huh.
then I could make about $500.
Mm-hmm.
Because those, this a lot of people don't know those numbers are very small. Streaming, it doesn't pay out like but it helps. And so because promoters actually want to know who's listening, so that it's a metric that they do look at. But for us to feel to get a return, so to speak, and contribute to our living, you got to listen to it quite a bit. So I always tell my crowds at shows, like, if every last one of you streamed about 100,000 times, then I'll get a little bit of money, because you really got to get like past 500,000 to 1 million to start seeing something that's
Right.
even close to being significant.
Mhm.
And that takes some time, so and Spotify is flooded with a lot of music. That's so many indie artists out there, so many living room kind of artists that just and people that are putting out records that were, I noticed in smooth jazz a lot. You got guys that used to be the background guys that are putting out their own stuff, and which is fine because they're putting out good music quality stuff, and it's making the genre still vibrant, still alive. But what they tell us, like 11 million, I want to say, or a certain number of songs that get on Spotify that have less than 1,000 streams. 60 something thousand songs get uploaded every day across the board, worldwide. So it's a lot of music out there, and so the curators that you try to get with, they're flooded with stuff, and I get the emails all the time, and then the ads for playlist booker and get your stuff on here and pay $50 to get you 4,000 streams, and that could help, but it only goes but so far. You want the organic one, so you got to work this Spotify like a day job, and so that's what we do. That's why if you see us posting about it all the time, or we're always throwing that link in there, 'cause that's the only way we can get those numbers and get that support and get those fans to listen. But we got fans like the young lady you just spoke about, who's been real supportive. I appreciate her so much. And if ever all our fans were like you, I wouldn't have to say that. I wouldn't have to tell people to 500,000 times. So thank you very much. You are one of those people that make us want to keep our stuff out there. Thank you very much. I have to say from the bottom of my heart, we need fans like you.
And they're
And
making
Colleen
some,
said
good points in the chat too.
Yeah,
especially
you
when
see
you
that.
guys were talking
Read
about the
some of it.
CDs. Because like I said, CDK was even mentioning about the hell they don't even make CD players in the cars anymore. When you get in the cars.
Right. So yeah, that makes it hard. Like if you got a 2010, 2011 plus CD player in there, so you are aux cable or Bluetooth, and what that did is it kind of devalues what we do to a degree, even though it made it more convenient, and because we all we all have got to a point where our phones are everything,
Yeah.
So the convenience of that is amazing, but you know, there was a certain value that your music meant to you and meant to your fans when you had to go buy it and actually get a tangible object like a CD or a tape. And even though like vinyl is on the rise because there's a whole new movement in other genres of DJs and people wanting the vinyl. You know, my buddy, he's now Dr. Nathan Mitchell. He just got his honorary degree not too long ago down there in Dallas.
Nice.
Last weekend. Nathan, we were on the what festival was it? I think it was the Jazz Legacy Foundation in Hampton, Virginia, and he did an album called Donnie Duke and Wonder. You know, tribute to George Duke, Donnie Hathaway, and Stevie Wonder. He pressed up some vinyl, and my man sold every copy he brought.
Nice.
People sold records, and they were like, "Oh, we want that." Meanwhile, you know, the rest of us with our CDs, I got rid of a few. You know, there's thousands of people there. I might have sold 10 or 15.
Figure that.
But
you know,
that's the thing. That's the thing, Tony.
Yeah.
They do a lot of pressing of the vinyl here in Dallas.
Yeah.
And vinyls is coming back because right now, you know, you can go buy a player. You know, record player.
Who still has a CD player? Who still? I mean, a lot of people have those new Bluetooth turntables.
Right.
I still have one. I have a computer so old it still has a CD drive.
See, I'm on MacBook Pros now, so I don't have none of that.
Yeah,
anymore.
I still have it.
But
you're right. I mean, how many people? But mentioning that, crowds are so unpredictable now. Because when I went to Alabama, Birmingham recently, I just grabbed a hand because I was traveling by myself with 3 instruments, right? So I just grabbed a handful, Christmas CDs and you know my other CDs, and I put it in the bag as much as I could. Not a whole lot. Sold out so fast, and I'm like, oh, I'll bring a lot of CDs and sell one. So that's why
hard. You know, you press up 50 CDs. Yeah, I know the feeling. You press up 50 CDs and you sell 5. But then you bring 15 and they're all gone. And you're like, okay, I'm sold out. And you're trying to, you know, get people's, you know, me, I'm thinking, okay, well, check this out. You got Cash App, you got Venmo. For now, give me your address and I will mail it to you personally. I've done that a million times, you know, just so that way they can get it and you don't miss out on, you know.
Right. That's good.
Cash that comes in. So
I'm thinking about going back to taking credit cards again. I've been looking at that. I stopped and just used payment apps. But I noticed that people say, can you take my credit cards? So these debit cards are popular. So I'm thinking about going back to that. And my husband is on me about designing my T-shirt. He said, you really need to do that. I'm like, okay, I'll just do it. Like you said, Tony, we do everything. So
everything. I mean, everything you can possibly do because you just never know. Like I've seen it.
You don't know.
I've seen it happen. You know, like my man D. Lucas. You know, he's got his Road Warrior thing that he does. You know, so he created like a sub brand. You know, and so he's selling those T-shirts as well as. So you know that's the thing for 2024 is to get the different kind of. You know, I learned my lesson too. I was doing this thing called So Far Sounds, which they do that all over the country. It's like these secret concerts in these venues where if you sign up for the website, it gets marketed to those people. And they're real intimate concerts. Like some of them are in like people's backyards, some of them in like little tiny breweries, restaurants, coffee houses. And the only way you know about it is if you're signed up on So Far Sounds and you get an email or a text saying, hey, there's a show on Wednesday night from 7 to 9 and this is the acts. And I just did it to kind of broaden the fan base. And, you know, it's usually attracting, of course, unless you want to bring a band. Doesn't pay a whole lot, but I did a couple of them this past summer in Denver, right? And the reason why I'm laughing is because I felt like I felt like an OG for real. Because these are acts in their 20s. They got the QR codes everywhere and the T-shirts, and I'm up there with CDs. So I just made a joke about it. I was like, okay, I'm showing my age. Do y'all remember what these are? No, your parents have them. I'm like, damn, did I really? Okay, so I have these, you know, if you want to buy one. They're laughing. They're like, what's your Spotify? I'm like, exactly.
Wow.
So I had to change my thing. So now I have a little thing with my QR code. I just walk around, I put it by my my stuff, and I haven't got one of those pop-up big pop-up banners, QR code right there. It's the new day, So I had CDs because honestly, contemporary jazz fans still want this.
Yeah, for like a souvenir type
Yeah,
thing or
they want to
whatever.
beat stuff. They want to, there's still kind of that faction of people that still want that. So you have to have those ready. But I forgot I was in front of a bunch of 20-somethings, they don't know nothing about CDs, and it reminded me like, okay, you gonna have to. Very next time I do one of those shows, I said, all right, I'm not even bringing one. Here's my Spotify, and here's all the social media.
Then they asked for them. So I was really shocked in Alabama how it sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I wish I had a box load. I could have made more money, but you don't know. Yeah. And like I said, flying, and I called Tony to help me about with 3 horns. I still had an issue just with one spot. I had an issue. I almost didn't make it on the plane, but I did finally. That's a long story because I know we're about to end the show.
It's so terrible. That's another part of what we do. When we're traveling with instruments, especially horn players. If you play multiple, I be feeling bad because I'm bringing all my axes with me, and some of my boys, they got that one saxophone that they specialize in. But it's so easy for you. D, he plays soprano. He just brings a soprano. I got all 3 horns because I got songs on all 3 horns.
Yeah, same here.
I got to play them on, and some guys like, nah, man, just for your tenor songs, just play them on alto. I'm like, but it don't sound the same.
No, it doesn't sound the same, and they're not the same key instruments. That one is an E flat, one is a B flat.
So I have to think in a whole other key. I mean, I've had to do that a couple times when, horns got damaged or just, not do that song. But, it's funny because you have to be prepared for that side of it too. So I know there's laws about instruments, but when you got on them big flights or those flights that are, sometimes even overbooked. And I try to
like flying on the day of the gig because you're not in control.
If you do, you better get on that. You better get up early. You better be there early. Just get some rest and be on that first thing smoking because those are the
5 o'clock.
Those 6 a.m. flights, 6 a.m. maybe 7 a.m. flights are less likely to be canceled or delayed.
Right.
So that way, depending on where you're going, or catch the red eye the night before.
Yeah.
And once you get travel savvy, what airlines got a red eye every day. So if I want to go to Charlotte or I got to go to like Baltimore or something, American Airlines, there's a red eye at 1:59 every morning. That stops in Charlotte. So I'll do that. But then like coming to Dallas is not a problem. It's usually like an hour and a half flight, if that. Or Phoenix or, places that are like relatively close, but
but sometimes these flights where you're going, they book it for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have any choices.
Right.
And I had a layover. I don't like layovers, but they booked it. I did it, but it was just at one airport, and I wrote I told Gary before the show a 6-page letter breaking it all down, reminding them of the new law when it came out, how and how they need to be educated. Do you know I got at least a 2-page letter from Delta apologizing profusely and saying what they were going to do to make sure this never happens again. And I think it's because I didn't write a flippant letter. I broke it down. I gave them the specific law, when it was created, when it was passed by Congress, and when and FAA involvement in enforcing it. And I also broke down how my case might have been the only thing that was out of our was longer in terms of dimensions was the length, and it was 28 as opposed to 24, the maximum. But when you see a guitar case that's over 40 inches long get on a plane, how do you justify that? Oh, when they opened up the closet, there was a keyboard case that was twice the size of mine, and then on top of that, I witnessed standing there being intimidated. A man walks in with his big fat case, and when the flight attendant said, oh, that's not going to fit. He said, well, that's amazing to fit the other planes. Oh, okay, then go ahead. I said the same thing. And you put me through all this. And that's the only time I said something. I said, well, why didn't I get that response when I said the same thing? So long story short, yeah, I broke it down. And it wasn't just for me, it's for all musicians.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Fly, and you run across this one.
Yeah. Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Merlin's asking, do you have any dates for Phoenix?
Got any dates for Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yes. I will be posting this probably in the next few days. I'm going to be back in Phoenix on November 18th. And also, I think I'm coming back right after that to do the concert series, probably in January or February. But November 18th is the one that's actually scheduled. So yes, I'll be back in Phoenix then.
All right, there you
And
go.
is
Marilyn.
are your events on your website? Where
Yes, all my events are on my website. So always check TonyExumJr.com for wherever I'm playing. And of course, I'll post it on social media. Let me just do that real quick. So if you don't know, and I'll put it in the chat too. It's T Exum Jr. on Instagram. So at T Exum Jr. So please follow
one
me.
X or two X's?
Just one X. One X. Tony Exum Jr. Music on Facebook. And then what is it now? It's X. It's not Twitter anymore. I'm still on there. So I'm Mr. Exum Jr. That's MisterExumJr. So I'm putting this all in the chat. And of course, the website is TonyExumJr.com. And what is it? TikTok is just T Exum.
I just found you on TikTok.
Exum Jr. So I got all that covered, so please follow and like and all that good stuff and heart and everything.
And
Share, yeah, that goes a long way. I mean, really, another level of support for artists like myself and Joyce is just sharing the flyers, sharing the videos.
It's free. You don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, and then even if you just, hey, you might have a bunch of friends that like jazz or they just like saxophone or whatever the case may be. That's where you help us out by saying, hey, check out this artist. To somebody I'm listening to, and it goes a long way. Those little steps, let me tell you, they can multiply into other things, and they become opportunities for us. So that's the way to support, even on a smaller level with social media. Sometimes your voice is louder than us. I've gotten whole gigs off of a fan. A fan like, look, you need to get Tony.
Tag in the comment section. If you said I like what Tony's, just tag that person, highlight that person in the comment section.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have no problem doing that, and I'm always good for reaching out to those that have shown support. And and if you're listening to the radio station, listen to the show, let everybody know. It's jazz935.org. I get a lot of feedback from people, and it's just fun. It's fun to be on there, and I tell people all the time, you can inbox me if you get a request, or you just want to give me a comment. I'll put my email for the station out there too. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're hearing or what you want to hear. If I don't have it, I'll get it. And I shout people out all the time. If I know you're listening, shout out your city, shout out where who's listening, and really engage everybody. The best way I possibly can. That's big for us as radio hosts and as artists. So
yeah.
Y'all even being in the chat room, that's just lovely. I love it. Thank you so much.
In fact, I transferred or copy paste what you put in our the Zoom chat. I put it in the YouTube chat for them to see, so that way
awesome
and everything. But man, sure, man. I tell you, Tony, it's been just great reuniting with you today on the show.
Yeah, always.
Really appreciate you coming on and hanging out and let us check out some of your new music and hear about some of the great things that you got going on.
It's a lot coming up, so just stay tuned, everybody. It's a lot of things I'm doing that I can't talk about just yet, but when you'll know, I'm gonna be really excited to share it with you. But listen to Hold My Hand, that's the latest joint. New album in the works too, early next year. Another single coming out soon. So all the good stuff that we normally do.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up, and I appreciate everybody in the chat room. We really do appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us today.
Yes, means a lot.
So thank you, and of course Vaughn. I don't know what happened. Vaughn dropped off, but we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Next week we are scheduled to have Reggie Calloway. I know you guys remember Midnight Star. Yeah, he was the founder of that group back in the day, and of course you remember him and his brother. They're actually some really super producers back in that day, because they when they left Midnight Star, they started just producing some of them records for a lot of these R&B groups back in that day. So it's gonna be awesome to have them on the show next week to talk to them. So definitely look out for that. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And with that said, I guess everybody have a great weekend. Be safe out there, and I'll pass it over to Ray and Joyce to take us out. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Well, Tony, hey man, it's our pleasure having you on the show, but I'm sure gonna see you next month for sure.
Man, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Good.
I just couldn't come down to Deep Ellum, man. I don't like it.
I don't even blame you, bro. It's another vibe down there. So yeah.
Oh, is it different?
The Deep Ellum, it's a different, but people do come out.
I know they do. I know they do.
I had a blast. I went down there one time, but it's been some years ago. But I do remember it's you have so much going on down there. It's a lot.
You do.
It's good.
It's big. It's almost like New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like Deep Ellum is just like Beale Street. It's just like it used to be in Oklahoma. Used to be 2nd Street, Kansas City. Used to Westport. That's where all the black entertainment went.
Yeah.
Those areas. I don't know about Denver or anything like that.
Well, Denver had Wilton Street, in the 5 Points. That was the black area. That was the Harlem of the West, they used to call it.
Okay.
Colorado Springs had Pueblo Avenue back in the day. And of course there's Bourbon and Canal Street in New Orleans. It's one of those streets that have that thing. And Deep Ellum, that whole area is just,
That's
people.
what I'm saying. It's like New Orleans, in that area. Mm-hmm.
I always have fun out there. I mean, every time I play, depending on what time I get done, I'll walk around and go see what else is going on. I've spent plenty of hours out there in Dallas just.
And Louis is around. Is like a parallel street over. I forget the name of that street. That played there a couple of times. That's a nice venue too.
It is. And
I'm sorry, I'm trying to close this.
Yeah. But man, I'm gonna definitely see it.
All right.
Okay.
It's been our pleasure.
Dallas, October 19th, Irvay Event Center. Get your tickets now.
Okay, so real quick, I'm going to give a shout out to people who are in the chat room. Right. For those who weren't in the chat room, that's okay. We understand and we appreciate you as well. And we have Marilyn Ford, John the Saint, Joel Crafton, D. Smith, Henry Mixon, Colleen Keithley, Joanna Johnson, Gia Hyatt, K Ward Radio, Jazzy
K Ward, yeah.
Don Taylor of Taylor Entertainment Group, Bobby Porter, LG Williams, JC Smith, and Clarence Kyle, aka CTK. So, guys, CTK, my favorite trumpeter.
Yeah, man, what's good, bro? Thank you. Thank
you. These guys are in the chat room giving you some amazing compliments. We didn't get to read it all. They were giving some feedback on things that you were saying. Mm-hmm. But if you guys like what you heard, just click the thumbs up, click like, and also subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, and so you can go back and check out the archives. Yes.
That's right. And also, if you've already subscribed, why don't you invite one friend, many if you want to. But if every week, I'm like Tony, if every week you invite one person, ask your ma, your pa, your cousin from Arkansas, I don't care who it is, to subscribe, because Gary, the host, has done a lot of work that behind the scenes, and we would really like to see get a subscription up to those numbers,
Yes.
so Gary can start monetizing and getting some money back. You know how Tony was talking about Spotify? Just please, same thing here. Just invite. I know you have a friend that a girlfriend that you can say, girl, just like this. No, just trust me, just like it. Just like it.
Yeah, yes, indeed. That's
You
it.
got somebody, you can do that. So help us build it up. And Colleen Keithley, as always, you're always promoting music groups. You're over a lot of groups, and you love the artists.
Yeah, we
and
appreciate
love
you, Colleen.
Love you,
We
Colleen.
really do.
You and Gia and Henry. I mean, there are others.
Everybody.
The reason Colleen just monitors, I forget how many groups. Y'all might be 20 groups that she monitors and shares and supports. So just I just want to let you know that we at GHP Radio, we see what you're doing and we appreciate what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Love you, girl.
Absolutely.
And that's and Tony, of course, my man Tony. I appreciate you so much. You may not hear from me all the time, but know that I'm here for you. Okay, Ben? Anything I can do.
Likewise. You already know we got to get you back to Colorado, so we're gonna,
Yes.
I'll talk to you before I get down that way.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
I'm gonna send you Von's number, and so y'all can talk about doing the on what I want to say. Damn it, I don't forgot already.
Oh, you talked about the syndication.
The syndication.
Going on.
Yeah, I
That's
had
an
to talk
excellent
about.
idea, Matt. I
Yeah,
like
put it
it.
all together.
I'd love to. I would love to.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's make it happen.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely can do that, Tony.
Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody.
All right, y'all. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot.
And I'll see you on the 19th.
Okay, sounds good.
Everybody,
All right.
everybody have a great weekend.
Mm.